Act 1. I'm awake at some ungodly hour, 3 or 4 in the morning, texting my best friend in the world about every secret I can muster. Before I run out of unfounded courage, I send, "Do you ever not really feel like a girl?" She takes a moment, probably a few moments, and shoots back, "Not really." So I shut that down. I pretend that question, like so many others you have in 7th grade, is pointless to ask or to answer. But it nags at me every time I sit around in my support group, every time I have to introduce myself with a name that just feels wrong. I keep quiet, and mostly to myself, until that nagging is more like burning. There are no words I know to describe what I'm feeling, so I use what I have to find them. I pore over websites and library books, magazines and TV shows. There are words that almost fit me, but there are countless stories of people who have the same questions I do. And better yet, these questions have answers. I go back to the support group. I ask about these words I've found. I hear from others who found them too. They reach down, grab my hand, and pull me up, closer to truth. Act 2. For a moment, there is nothing but joy. My doubts and fears aside, there is a self I can see that might one day be recognizable, an image in the mirror that isn't so foreign to me. Just as suddenly, I come to realize that no one else will understand. Those who pulled me closer are the only people who can know me for who I am, for who I'm trying to become, for who I always was. In doubt and in fear, in shame and guilt, I retreat into myself. I pull away from those who pulled me close. When people ask, I pretend not to know myself. I lie outright, or I lie by omission, for protection or something close to it. The burning never leaves me. It keeps me up at night, still searching for hours on end, trying in vain to pinpoint what could be wrong with me. One night, I sit down and write it all out, everything I'm thinking. I use every word I've learned to describe what I'm feeling. When I'm done, I move my cursor to the top of the page and write, "Dear Mom." In another moment of unfounded courage, I slide the envelope under her door. We have a long talk that night. After a while, she understands. Months pass, and we act almost as if nothing had been said that night. I write another letter, this time more urgent, more demanding. "Mom, something has to change. I can't live like this." Act 3. Over the next few years, I take every step I can to make life more livable. From new haircuts and new clothes to a new name, I am a living work in progress. But every step forward always comes with 2 steps back: rejection, pain, or expense. Many days I wake up and feel entirely alone, as if no one in the world understands exactly what I'm going through. As if this world, as vast and wide as it may be, has absolutely no place for someone like me. I look in the mirror and jump. I am at once unrecognizable and finally myself. Despite all the effort I've put into becoming, there is never finality or closure. After all these years, I still find it hard to accept that there never will be. It is just as hard to accept that who I once was still lives in me. There is growth, there is change, and there is acceptance, and some mysterious persistence of self holds on through it all. In the mirror, I look closer and recognize a softness in my eyes. I write about it, I sing about it, and I look for others singing too. I reach down, grab their hands, and pull them up, closer and closer. Act 4. Every so often, I remember that who I am now is who I've always been, and also who I've always wanted to be. I remember that there are versions of myself, younger and older, who speak nothing but encouragement, who have pages of journal entries wishing me, in this moment, good luck. I remember how fortunate I am to have everything I need within me. The closer I look, the more I find that this persistence and insistence of self has driven me closer and closer to loving myself for exactly who I am. It has granted me the freedom to be, not as others would wish for me to be, but as I am, and to manifest that freedom in every imaginable way. When the leaves fade and fall, when the water turns to ice, and when the sun melts it all and brings new life, I see the same freedom. Honest change was always nature's way. And while many will hide beneath a raincoat, I stand here in the downpour. What this water can offer me is more than I can ever hope to give in return. And that is fine by me. I will not change this world. I will live in it authentically, knowing self-discovery is more about finding your place in the family of things. At once, I am incongruous with almost every other living thing, and yet we are exactly alike in life and breath. Come closer. Take my hand. Won't you be here with me?